This is Soular Map app. This is the little landing page that actually came with it. And essentially, what we have here is just breaking down your body's cosmic blueprint to what is going on in the realm of astrology, right? So, if you know your little wheel natal chart, this is it mapped out on the body. So, as you can see, when we scroll down to what I was showing before, this is a little demo feature I have on the landing page. Right now, it is exclusively a web app. I don't have it as mobile yet, but it will be available in the near future. But right now, as you can see on the landing page alone, you can shift through any potential rising sign that you would want to literally see the planets change in real time to see where it's applied, right? So, for example, you're going to want to make your own account, see your actual natal planets aligned against it once we actually get into it. But if you just want to show a friend and you know their rising sign and you want to just like get them introduced to the concept of astrological body mapping, you can see it right here on the actual chart where you can click on every little planet and inevitably, gain access to deep information, right? So if we click on a planet right here, I'll show you when we actually log in. But it'll get you into the premium aspect of it, and I was wondering what it does. But yeah. So with that being said, yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for the landing page. It just shows you what's going on, and you can see all the planets actually inside and get a lot of information on it and whatnot. But yeah, let's actually get in a little bit deeper, and I'll show you what it looks like on the inside. So when we actually get into the app itself, you're going to be welcomed with the Today tab right here. So this Today tab, what you're going to see is your daily focus, which picks a specific planet for you to focus on, which you can then, journal on, talk about. We'll get into that in a second. But essentially what it says here is right now I have Venus in my second house. So it says, I value what truly matters to me. It gives me an area to focus and meditate on, which is right here. We'll show you. And then it reminds us to bring a gentle awareness to your body, notice sensations without judgment, breathe naturally, allow insight to arise organically. And when we get into the journaling prompt, it gives us a little reflection prompt right here. But as we get into it right here, this is the Today tab. This is what it shows. It shows you your chart overlaid with the planets. I actually have the premium feature, so we'll get into that, where you can actually click on the planets, transiting through your body. Oh, that's annoying. I was just being slow to load. That's it. We'll get into that later. But basically, the premium feature, it shows you how to actually, just shows you everything about it. It gives you information, it gives you the aspects, it gives you the gifts and the challenges, but we'll get into that in a second. But what you can also do when you see all of these planets in your body is you can select certain ones. If you want no planets, click none. If you want to show your natal planets, show your natal planets. And you can see them actually, well, you can see them interact right here in real time and actually just get a detailed understanding, right? If you don't have premium, don't worry. It gives you a basic understanding of what the alignments actually do down here with the active transits. You can just check it out. It'll show you. You can scroll through as you wish. And essentially, you can just highlight whatever planets you actually want. You can go down to the nitty gritty. You can do nothing. You can remove them all entirely if you so chose. And essentially just see exactly what you want to see in terms of the planets that are actually applied to your body, right? So it gives you a very detailed understanding of your actual body mapping. You can zoom in on the transits, you can feel everything, you can see what's going on and so forth. So if we jump over to the journaling feature, say we click this right here, essentially what the journaling feature does is it gives us a detailed understanding of how the alignments influenced us, right? Because if any of you have ever done any of my guided meditations or you've learned about different aspects of astrology from an internal perspective, you know that I always encourage extreme amounts of journaling. I want you to remember the things. I want you to remember and actually shift your frequencies instead of just purely recognizing influence and acting as if everything's just right as rain, right? Because when it comes to energy and emotion, it is energy in motion, right? So when a planet makes you feel some type of way, it's cool that you recognize it, but if you don't understand the pattern, you don't have an intention, you don't have an actual application to apply that energy to, then it is useless, right? So this is why I created the journaling feature, and I used the daily focus to actually apply in some way, shape, or form to your journaling prompts, right? Because when you write your journaling prompts, what you can do is you can actually change your mood, show how you're feeling, show your energy levels. and actually, pick specific things so you can allow the recognition to be done for you, right? So right here, what the pride and joy of like what I created in this app is the AI pattern recognition of where it says basically like we'll get in when we cover premium, but basically you just have a robot remember what the alignments did to you, and you go, oh, okay, this is what it does to me. This is what I have going on. Maybe I should act a certain way, and remember that, like, it's not me. It's just Venus transiting my second house, or, in this case, that's what it is, right? So when it comes to the journaling prompts, it is a extremely, like, powerful thing, right? Because what we're talking, like, what this is really is its frequency, right? And frequency is what you frequently see, and basically nobody really tracks the planets to extreme degree to properly understand how the influence affects them over time and how they can utilize it, right? So when we talk about that, this is why I created this. This is why I made journaling prompts. This is why I made it gamified to where you can literally click on your achievements and then be like, hey, I'm a journal. Well, that's not fun. But this is fun right here, where it's like, I'm a full moon journaler. Or you're a Mercury retrograde survivor, and then you can actually, like, I don't have it yet, but, whenever Mercury goes retrograde, I'm gonna. And then you can actually click on it and get a little achievement card and share it, Like, think about you sharing your freaking Mercury retrograde survivor card on that. That'd be fire. But, anyways, that's pretty much the journal prompt, where the entire purpose is for you to, like, track how the planet actually make you feel and then make tangible change on that, Like, it's a wild concept that nobody does and nobody actually uses, like, I don't know, it's just like nobody really uses astrology. It's just like, bro, what are you doing, So with that being said, some of the other features that we have going on are the, what do I want to do? We'll do the calendar. Calendar, nothing outrageously special. Like, it's just the astrology calendar. What is cool, though, is I'm going to add a feature to where you can actually sync the alignments to, like, your Google or Apple Calendar. But basically, you just click on the days. You can scroll through time, see what the highlighted alignments for the weeks in the past or the month ahead are. Like I said, the coolest thing is going to be it actually syncing to like your Google or Apple Calendar, which is going to it's on the list. But yeah, I mean, it's just the regular trend calendar. Now, what is even cooler is the timeline feature, which is basically another calendar that pretty much allows you to literally scan through your body in real time, and essentially you can just see the planets like move through your body in real time. Pick a date, it'll show you, and you can see, be like, oh, on this day, like I have my sun in my ninth house, so I probably shouldn't be out here philosophizing too much on my emotional boundaries and expressions, and I shouldn't really be like poking people too much, because if I travel too far, you're a Cancer, you're gonna cross your boundaries, you're gonna get hurt, you're gonna hurt people in a multiplied effect of what's done to you, right? Because Cancer always does that, because they want to retaliate for starting it, doing it, and then it being uncalled for, So they gotta add their multiples for that reason. But that's pretty much the vibes on like the transit calendar, where you can really just see it move through your body in real time. See, crazy. I don't know. I think this is really cool, because it's just like who can actually do that? What has that? Not that, not the other ones. I'll tell you that much. Now, when we get a little deeper, you can come over to your natal tab here. Your natal tab is basically the same thing as the today tab, but it's more focused on you. Let me know in the comments what you would like me to add to that, if you wanted me to add, because like I've been kind of bopping around in the back of my mind, like I want to add like a little wheel chart so it like looks kind of regular, but also have it focused on the body map. In here, you can actually get detailed readings like I was going to show in premium, but we're going to have to poke around and make sure that's working so you can see it in a second. But basically what you have here is a just synthesized interpretation. You can see the details on like what's going on, what's the planetary energy, what's the sign energy, what is the house application of it. But the coolest part of this is the gifts and the challenges, right? So this shows you like what's good about the alignment, how to maximize it, how to not get too lost in the sauce. And then the negative side, which is the challenge, right? This is kind of what everybody focuses on, where it's like, go green, stop red. Where this is essentially what this is is it shows you how to transmute the negative aspect of it, and eventually I'm going to integrate the aspects and et cetera, et cetera. But basically what we have here is, for example, kind of the first house is the primary challenges finding balance in displacement's expression. So you want to watch for emotional flooding, boundary dissolution, escapism, and manifesting in the arena of like self-identity and stuff like that. And it may show up as an imbalance in your crown and head and your hairline, right? So how you want to transmute it is working with this challenge through cultivating flexibility while maintaining your core stability while honoring the identity, right? So essentially what it is, like basically what this says is if you have a problem in some type of capacity with like who you are and how you establish boundaries on what you want, basically what it's saying is be reasonable, dude. Just because you feel this problem and it's like right on your face and it's so intense and it's so focused, it doesn't mean that you can't listen, respect, and cater to others, right? Just because you feel your problems more intensely. That is a sign for you to actually work on that. And working on that is being much more accommodating to people. It's a very great tool to just be not so self-absorbed in your own pain, like just, the Scorpio trait amplified, and actually apply it in some way, shape, or form. So with that being said, it's just a cool little thing to know. Like check all your planets, check all the alignments. This is, if you're just signing up, like this is just the free thing that everybody gets. But without further ado, let's get into premium. Okay, guys. So now that we're getting into premium features, the premium features are, the reason why I created it in this way is it is much cheaper than actually getting a reading from an astrologer for a one-off like alignment. So it's like, say you want a full moon reading or you just want a chart reading, right? Well, instead of paying, hundreds of dollars per hour for whatever they got going on, if you're not ready for that, you can do this, which is a simple interpretation of every single alignment that transits through your body. So as you can see right here, you can click on any planet, the one of the sky or the transit planets that are transiting through your body, and get detailed understandings on the actual aspects that are applied to it, on the details of the alignment, and just like in your natal chart, the gifts and the challenges of every single transit. Now, why this is huge is because you can literally get a notification on your phone and be like, hey, Mercury's transiting through your first house. Let's see the gifts and the challenges and actually come up with a synthesized interpretation of how you can actually utilize this for your daily gifts. And the app learns you. It learns from your journaling prompts. It tells you different things based off of the actual alignments, right? So with that being said, it's kind of like your little pocket astrologer for, $8 a month, which is nominal for a lot of you. And it is much cheaper than an actual reading, right? And like I said, the gift at the end, it's probably going to get cheaper if you actually want to claim it. So with this, you can literally click on any planet inside your chart that's transiting and see how it interacts with all of the different alignments in your actual chart. Get the details, get the gifts and challenges. And hey, if you don't want to wait for the planets to actually change, pop over to the timeline tab where you can actually scan through the much more advanced features all the way to a year advance and literally see where the planets are actually going to be in your chart. And you can actually get readings on that far in advance. So with that being the case, let's dive even deeper. Now, when we get the journaling prompt, the advanced part of the journaling prompt is quite detailed, right? So it's going to get a bit more advanced as time goes on. However, when you see this, you get like little updates on like, okay, you often feel focused. It's the sun transiting during your second house. So when it comes to the actual second house, it offers you insights as to what's going on, and it reminds you of how you felt in the past, right? And the key thing is being reminded of how you felt, being regaled with what you did, and remembering that, like, okay, during these transits, I typically feel this way, I typically feel this, which can give you a lot of insight, especially if you're dealing with a lot of challenges, right? Because if you feel tired or sad or unmotivated, you just click on the planet that made you feel that way, go over it again, and go say, oh, these are the gifts and the challenges. I'm dealing with a lot of this right now. I'm dealing with, like, what is that? Codependency, people pleasing, and superficial relating, right? Where you just want to be liked for whatever you have going on. So when it comes with that, this is powerful. This is useful. This is a most direct red light reminder of what you should not be doing if you're not feeling well. Or if you're feeling great, double down on it. See what's going well. See how you can amplify it. See what you can actually apply it to. Like, these things are huge in terms of your daily well-being and understanding the planets. Now, with that being said, that is pretty much the features as of right now for premium. If you guys want to upgrade and get a little discount, I have a code which is Leo Launch. I'm going to put it in the description, keyword Leo Launch, which will get you almost 40% off of the monthly as well as yearly options, which brings it down to $5 a month. Or if you upgrade to the annual subscription, that will be, I don't have the number off the top of my head, but 40% off of $68. So you do the math for a year of free readings instead of actually spending hundreds on an astrologer to walk you through something that won't even cover everything in the app. Now, if you guys want to learn, sales pitch aside, you can come over to the Learn tab where you can actually download my guide. If you want to upgrade, you can also join the Alchemist Laboratory where I teach everybody one-on-one. Or you can just scroll through here and get some basic information on what is actually going on in the different houses, right? And get it in more detail. As you can see right here, this goes over all the houses. But if you really want to dive deep into all these different informations on, transits, houses, etc., and you want to get more detailed readings, I have a little over 100 different blog articles walking you through different topics from just like transits, planet transits, daily practices, and most important, somatic healing, which is like the meditative aspect of how your body keeps the score, right? So what I do with that, when I do with a lot of like the guided meditations that I mentioned in the beginning, I do custom guided meditations based off this astrological understanding, where I do a little like crystal healing and like I put it like on the body in different ways, blah, 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 blah. And in that, what I do is I break down very specific detailed aspects of what's stored in the body at that time, right? Because regardless of your scientific beliefs on the book, The Body Keeps the Score, understanding the concept of it gives you a deeper understanding when you apply astrology layered on top of it, because it literally answers the question of, okay, if the body keeps the score, well, where does it, right? So, for example, if you have like curled front shoulders, a lot of what that means is you're very focused on what's going on. You have a lot of things that make you, almost like predator-like and intense and just focused on what you're doing. And very tight in here, which restricts your breathing, which restricts your airflow. Air is energetically ideas, understanding, knowledge, communication, logic. So if you're restricted in all that and you're closed and you're very focused on something moving forward, you have a limited scope of what ideas can actually pass through your body. A very, very limited scope. So what you do is you need to stretch, you need to open, you need to expand your idea flow into what's going on, right? And just like little things like this are things that you can actually, understand and just expand on in regards to what's going on with astrology. And then there's other things in the blog, like astrology basics, so on and so forth. You can click on the little whatnots right here, get a little information. Is this the one video on it? Yeah. But yeah, you can just read right here, quick little blog article that can teach you pretty much anything on astrology. I'm going to be adding to it, writing little readings and horoscopes as well. And then it also suggests different articles as well. But yeah, I mean, that is pretty much, as of right now in the current state, the tutorial on the Soular Map app. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment, send me an email, reach out, sign up, test it out for yourself. Completely free to sign up. You get free readings on your entire chart. And if you want to upgrade to premium and actually get like daily transit readings on every planet that's possibly transiting your body, as well as in the future, past, or present. And what else is it? Oh yeah, the AI pattern detection and journaling. Oh my god, that's too fire. You have no idea how helpful that is. So if you want anything like that, just sign up, use code